dropping stuff within the first 2 seconds. I'm not refilming that. I'm keeping it because I always drop shit, so I think that's kind of funny. As you can see, I have a ton of yarn piled up in front of me, and today we're going to be market prepping. So this is going to be a little chaotic. It's going to be a little fun. I'm going to lie and convince myself. But first, hi, hello, Jasmine. Crochetery here, crochet related continents. Why not? I'm doing market prep. I have myself a little listy here of things that I want to make within 2 weeks. So I have from today until next Friday, pretty much one less day to get as much market prep as I can before my markets for craft show season, because I have 3 back each Saturday, 3 weeks in a row. So there's not going to be a lot of time to like remake things. So I have to make as much as I can now, and I'm dropping more stuff. There's so much stuff on my lap. So a lot of these yarns are going to look familiar if you watched last week's video when I unboxed them, and I was like, yeah, I bought these specifically for market prep for next week, and then I couldn't remember what half of them were for. I remember what they're for now. Where do I start? First, let's start with, I guess, the thing I did remember, which would be the Derpy from the K-pop Demon Hunters movie, because that blew up. So these were the colors that I had for that. I also wanted to make mini stitches, which is what some of the blue was for too. I actually wanted to make it out of these blues, but this blue is definitely closer to stitch. So definitely using this blue now. So I'm probably going to make 3 or 4 mini stitches and maybe 2 big derpies. Fingers crossed. Or maybe I'll use derpies for those. Maybe I can get away with those and I'll just use stitches for these. I don't know. Like, can I get away with this color? I'm going to try to get away with that color. So I'm going to make mini stitches out of these ones. And for their partner, I'm going to take these pinks. I'm going to make some mini angels with these ones. Now, I haven't used this yarn yet, so I'm kind of excited to try it. It looks nice. It feels meh, but I'm excited to use them anyways. So yeah, we've got mini stitches and mini angels. I want to try to make like 3 or 4 of each of them. So that'll be fun. We've got this yellow here. I wanted to make some more mini Pikachus. So that's what this one was for. We're solving mysteries together. Like little Ghostbusters or something. Yeah, so we got the yellow to make the Pikachus. I'm going to use partial of the brown to make the ears on the Pikachu because that's why I bought this. But I'm also going to use this to double and make as many sloths as possible. I never really make many sloths and I always get requested for sloths. So this year, I'm telling myself we're making sloths. I actually have one started right here on this acrylic ball. It looks like it's probably going to be about like this big. I don't know, I haven't made it yet. Obviously, it's just a circle at the moment for the body. I have the arms finished off camera. I will grab one of them. Here's one of the little arms, the little like talons it's got. I don't know. I think they look kind of funky. I think I kind of like it. I can't tell. But yeah, this one's partially started, so that's going to go in front of me to finish. I'm going to try to use some sloths on this too, and this one feels really nice. Really soft. I like it. We've got the only 2 acrylic babies in this mix for some Yoshis. I wasn't sure how much yarn I would need for them. I'm probably not going to need both. I can probably make 3 out of 1 ball to be like realistic. And I'm probably only going to make 3, so then I'll just have this one for safety if I sell them all, I guess. But yeah, some Yoshis. And the Yoshi's going to come out like kind of big. It's going to be like probably this big, I think, because I made it in blanket yarn and it was this big and it's usually like half the size, so probably like right there. Next would have been these 2, because I think they were supposed to be the stitches, but I think I'm going to try to make the derpies out of these instead, so that way I can get more of them. I think these colors should still be like good enough that it'll like convey what it is. If not, I just won't use these yarns and they will sit in my collection, unfortunately. I'm going to try my best though. And then the last thing on my, well, not the last thing, but the close to my last things for yarn that I have to show you are these babies for some rose turtles and just turtles in general. I have to make, again, this is a new yarn that I'm going to be trying out for the first time, so a little excited. It feels a little bit better than that other one. It looks nice. Like the yarn itself, like look at that. It looks nice. It looks like a nice little blanket dupe, so I'm excited to try those. I want to try to make some scrunchies because I've always had, like, I bought scrunchie towers to specifically make scrunchies, and then I never actually made them, so they've sat in my room. So I randomly just have 2 scrunchy towers with, I think, like, literally 2 scrunchies on them. So that's gonna probably be its own video that I'm going to film of how many I can do in a singular day and just bust them all out at once. But you'll get that after this one, hopefully. We'll see. I might not film it and I might just make them. We're gonna find out in the future. But there is one last thing on my list that I have to mention. If you've seen the video before last week's was me unboxing yarn haul. If you've seen the video before that, it was me making as many elephants as I could in a week span. I wanted to make at least 6 and then some mini elephants. If you watched, I didn't finish any mini elephants. So I have to make mini elephants too at some point during this week. Definitely not first. Definitely not this week, because I don't want to touch any elephants. But they're still on the list. I still have to mention them, and I'm going to attempt to do them at some point. That is not today. So I'm going to start doing some market prep. I think I want to start with the Stitch and the Angels because I think that would be cute. But I'm going to be filming this probably over the span of 2 weeks, so I will see you guys at the end of week 1 for. I'm tired. I just got up. Usually I crochet for a bit before I go and get something to eat for breakfast. But I need to film the update first for the end of the week. So if my voice sounds a little weird, I got up like 2 minutes ago. Got up, got dressed, here I am. So I have a sloth first. It's not finished yet, obviously. I have a couple eye patches for it here, but it also needs a face patch, which I didn't finish. So this piece is almost finished. I usually get requested a lot for sloths, and I saw this pattern and I was like, I actually think I kind of like that one. I do think it's a nice size. I'm wary on it just because of the price that I'm going to have to give it. I just feel like it's a lot in my head for what it is, but it is a pretty nice size, so maybe I'm overthinking it. We'll see when it's finished what it looks like, but for now I think it looks kind of nice. I made one more caterpillar because I had 2 in my craft show box. Now I have 3 just in case, so I can stack them up on top of each other, do like a pyramid aesthetic kind of. This one's like a banana colored, although this looks like a light pink on camera. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, it looks like a light pink on camera. It's more of a banana color, and then this is a hot pink, so it's weird that it's showing up as pink on camera. I don't know, maybe that's just to me, it's just what it looks like. I've finished 1 turtle so far with a plain shell. I think it looks pretty nice. I like the way this green looks worked up. Ooh, apparently not enough to be holding it, but it's pretty nice and smooth, so I like it. And then I have to make more turtles, obviously. So here's the head and the limbs to another turtle that I'm going to work on today. I'm going to put these behind me, actually, so I don't lose them in the ruckus somewhere. I've got 2 unfinished Pikachu bodies. I have a 3rd that has these kind of eyes with some blush on the cheeks. I'm thinking maybe a teeny tiny nose there to make it look a little bit better. It feels a little empty on the bottom region for me. But 3 little Pikachus so far. And then really what I feel like I spent the whole week doing, the mini Stitches, and I dropped her, and a mini Angel. Now these are super cute. They're a lot smaller than I thought they would have been. I do think that they're really adorable. I don't think you can see the tail that well a bit, unfortunately, though. I think they're really cute. I just wanted them to be bigger, so I made 1 of these small ones. Excuse me. 1 small angel, and then I didn't want to make too many small angels, but I kind of already accidentally started making 3 of these small bodies before I realized how small they were. So I have 3 of the Stitches that are small and only 1 small angel, because I'm like, I'm not going to make so many small ones because I don't really like the small ones. But then I did a double strand method. I did the correct stitch color on this one for the ears, and did a bigger stitch and angel, and I think these ones look a nice
bit, well, they're bigger, so I think they look a lot better just because I wanted them to be bigger in the first place. I feel like the tail, still, you can't really see it. It's a little disappointing, like that just doesn't look right to me. I did move it on the other angel, but I didn't decide to do that until like literally the last plushie I was working on. So I got one of each in the big one, and then here's a second one of each in the big one, and this is the one where I actually moved the tail up, as you can tell, from this one to this one. And I like the tail being moved up a row a lot better, and I also put the wrong stitch ear colors on every single other stitch, so oops. But I got a lot of those done, which is what I feel like I mainly spent this week doing. Aside from just random other things that I had to do this week. But I have time, because I had the yarn haul update, so it's not due this week, so I'm not like, aha, this is the only things I managed to make in a week. You get to see everything I make in 2 weeks to prepare for my craft show. Obviously I have other things to attend to during this week, so I can't say that it will look like this week's collection of things, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm definitely gonna make 1 to 2 more turtles. I'm gonna make like 3 to 4 mini turtles. I want to make like a mini dinosaur. I have a list right here. Where's my list? A mini dinosaur. I want to make Yoshi still. I haven't been able to do that. I haven't made any of the elephants that I wanted to make. I had the derpy that I wanted to make, and I didn't get a chance to make any of those just yet. I wanted to maybe make some reindeers for the upcoming holiday season. I didn't get a chance to do any of that. Scrunchies, didn't get a chance to do any of that just yet. All of my cats, didn't do that any yet. And then any Pokemon ever, I always put on the list. So didn't get a chance to do that. I'm hopeful that I can at least get some of those things knocked off my list still, because that would be pretty nice. But we'll see. I've got a good time now to crochet up until the evening, and then I have plans for stuff. And then hopefully when I get home, I can do a couple more things and just keep that process up and just pray that I can get enough stuff done that I feel satisfied come Friday, because I'm going to a craft show this Saturday now. So you'll be getting the update film Friday, and I'll probably post it. I don't want to post it on Saturday just because I feel like my internet's going to be so trash. I don't like the idea of posting it late at night, so I'll probably post Sunday morning after the craft show. And then we'll see what I do after that. But I'm going to go back to prepping. I'm going to see you guys. It's now Friday night. I finally finished everything stacked up right here, so it's time to show you the rest of everything that I was able to accomplish. Woo! I do have a little stack right here too that I need to show off, so let me grab that first. First, I got the face on the little sloth here. I really like how he turned out. I got his little eyes on him, little nose. I like it. I like it. I'm just going to stack them up behind me for now because I have to obviously put them away in my craft show bag. I got a plain shelled turtle done. Now, I feel like I messed this one up a little bit because there's no, like, a ridge on the edge, but I sewed his head a little too close, so I can't really add one. So that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like I messed it up, but it's not actually messed up in any way. But I think it's still a pretty cute turtle. That was a regular shelled one. I did make one more rose shelled one because I have, like, 3 in red and 1 in blue, so I wanted to have another blue variant. And this one's got like a blue and white in it, and I was like, that's cute, especially against such a dark body. So, rose turtle, done. And then to keep the turtle shtick, I made 2 mini turtles. Kind of like, this one's more neutral, this one's obviously girly colors. I hate that word for craft shows, but you're gonna hear it a lot. If you do craft shows, warning, you're gonna hear that a lot. Girl colors, boy colors, here's your girl color, here's your neutral. I already have a bunch of boys still. So yeah, got these 2 things here. And then I did the Pikachus. I finished the eyes on one of them originally. I finished the eyes on all 3 of them. I couldn't find a nose that would look right. I tried, and then I was like, a mouth would definitely look wrong. So I'm leaving them with eyes just like this. So they're gonna get stacked up right there in that pile as well. I made 1 mini dinosaur just in a blue color because the other one I had was a girl color and then a neutral color. Again, hate those words. But here's one boy version of a dinosaur. And then I made 2 mini lying elephants. I'm glad I only had to make 2 of these after not last week, but the video after last week's So I'm happy that there's only 2 of these little guys. But this pattern is actually kind of nice. So like I'm not that mad at it. But I would be if I had to make a whole bunch of them. I also made some scrunchies once I had to grab it. I have 4 of them on here. I wanted them to all be full, obviously. Didn't get that. This one obviously looks drastically different from the bottom 3. This one's less ruffled than these ones. I tend to like a more ruffled one, so I'll show you what this one looks like. Just not really ruffled. I don't really like it. And then here's these 2, which are very ruffled. I like them. I was hoping to get at least 1 tower filled up, but that's not the case. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be breaking these. I might scrap this idea at least for another week, just because I would have loved to have seen the full thing finished, but that obviously didn't happen. So, oops. That's everything that I managed to make within 2 weeks. My voice is slightly off. If you don't know, I'm recovering from a cold. Got smacked with it in the middle of this week, which definitely put a damper on my progress because I didn't want to push myself too hard while I was sick because I wanted to give myself enough time to rest and recover. So my show tomorrow, I'm not going to be hacking up hairballs everywhere. So a little unfortunate. I do have some more prep things to do as well tonight, so that'll be fun. I have to pack up everything, finish off some touches on other pieces which weren't included in this week's video because they're already done. Just a couple details I need to do on them. And then the actual show is tomorrow, so that'll be kind of fun. So yeah, in total I got like a whole little bag worth of stuff. Kind of happy. I didn't get to make a lot of things that I would have liked to. Like, I think the main 2 things that I would have liked to have seen more of would have been making a Yoshi or doing the Derpy from the movie, just because I feel like those are good sellers because they're licensed characters. But I didn't have a chance to make any of those, so that kind of stinks. But there's always next week because I have 2 more shows to do, so that's fine. I'll see what I can manage in the next week. Probably another craft show prep video, or how much I can do in the 1 week. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm doing until I decide to film it, so that's fun. But that's all I have for this week's 2-week video, because it took me 2 weeks to film everything here and make everything. So I guess you get to see a little bit more in general than what you usually would for a weekly video, so I guess that's a fun little bonus. But I'll see you guys next week.